Okay, we're going to have a little discussion this morning. Flooding, learned helplessness, or teaching an alternate behavior to stimulus that's mutually beneficial to both of us. I've read the definition of flooding. Flooding can lead to learned helplessness. Learned helplessness means they give up the will or the desire to change the outcome, even if they can. Blah, blah, blah. I want to tell you right now, if you can't get them safe to be around, if your horse is 6 years old and you still can't catch it and ride it, maybe there's a flaw in your training program, maybe. When these troubled horses come here, this horse has learned to spook and shy away from stimulus. So if I teach this horse to stand still and seek comfort, am I flooding it? Am I teaching it learned helplessness? Or am I just making this horse safe enough to coexist with human beings, which ultimately is what they have to do? So I'm going to do a couple of things here, and I want every single person here that thinks it's flooding, learned helplessness, or an alternate pattern of behavior, an alternate way to respond to stimulus. Good, bad, right, or wrong, you don't have to agree with me. I already know the answer to this in my mind, and I've handled enough troubled horses to know that what I know. So anyway, first off, this horse doesn't like to be rubbed with the flag. So we're going to look at me rubbing him with the flag, and then you're going to voice your opinion. Am I flooding it, teaching it learned helplessness, or making it better? Or any other opinion you might want to come up with. All I care about is this horse getting better. Somebody might come up with something that never occurred to me, maybe. So, here we are. I'm going to rub this horse with flag. Is this learned helplessness? I'm asking. Am I flooding this horse? I'm asking. I think a lot of training methods are good if you know how to use them. I think a lot of training methods are bad if you don't. But that's just my opinion. And the horses that I've worked with. I think before you put a method down, the method that you decide upon, I don't think you should become totally committed to the methods that you're using until you see results. Good results or bad results. And if the results are terrible, then don't do that no more. But I don't think you need to have too much of an aversion to pressure and release, if you want to call it this. I don't think until you know how to use whatever method you're using, and seeing good results or bad results, this horse really don't like to be touched right here. So you see how this horse is moving away from this right here? Trying to get it to where you can see it with the camera. So if it doesn't like to be touched right there, and I keep doing this until it lets me touch it, am I flooding it? Am I teaching it learned helplessness? I don't want that hip to move every time I get close to it. You can't even put a blanket on this horse. And I have to prove to this horse some way that this isn't a bad thing. And until it learns to stand its ground and give me a chance, its answer to this situation is unacceptable. If we want it to get better and coexist with us, and this is what it does when somebody rides up besides that hip. It just moves the hip over. Well, that's going to get somebody hurt. So if I take away this horse's ability to say, I don't want you to touch that, I'm just going to move my hip away, am I flooding this horse? Is it learned helplessness? I really want you guys to voice your opinion. If you believe that this is flooding, I want everybody to know that you believe it. If you believe that I'm teaching this horse a different response to stimulus that will be mutually beneficial to both horse and human, voice that opinion. This is your chance. This is your chance. Is this horse flooded right now? Is it learned helplessness? Is it getting better? There's that hip moving away again. I ought to be able to touch this horse over here. If I can't touch it over here, you only got half a horse. And it keeps moving, so you can't see what I'm doing. Well, it ought not to move. It ought to stand still unless you ask it to move. Otherwise, it's not safe. And this is just one example, but this is the example that we're going to discuss. And until this horse can let us do this, some little kid walks up here, you can see the potential, or somebody riding it. Hell, this horse is an endurance horse. They ride it all the time. But they make allowances for it. Well, how about if you could just ride it? What I'm doing is every time that this horse moves that hip away, I'm trying to get it to step over with its shoulder and not go sideways. Going sideways is the problem. You're sitting on this horse's back, somebody comes up behind you, this horse runs sideways. Well, if you're not prepared for that, you could see where that could be an issue. It held its ground. Did I flood it? Did I teach it learned helplessness? Or did I just show it another response to stimulus that's mutually beneficial to both horse and human? Voice your opinion. Let me know. Bye.